Okay. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Obviously, there are no guests today. Um, and so I'll be the sergeant at arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to 130th meeting of the Speakers Squad Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, there are three ground rules that we want to follow. We are not going to talk about sex, religion, and politics. So please refrain from talking about these. Second, if you are not speaking, please put yourself on mute. And third is please switch off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. As we know, the mission of Toastmasters is to provide a supportive learning environment to develop communication and leadership skills. With that said, I would like to invite the presiding officer, the person who has been inspirational in the way he has led the Toastmasters Club, in the way he takes initiatives. Um, my personal experience with Richard has been that he knows what you need and he reaches out to you. You don't have to reach out to him. He has dabbled in so many things. To name a few, badminton and then rugby. We know all about the injury. And one of the favorite quotes that Richard has is hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life. If one of us is feeling down, we can just call Richard for a pep talk. With that said, please welcome Richard.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himanshu. It's quite a breezy morning. It's not easy to wake up in the morning. I've been having a very torrid time waking up in the morning, but finally I gathered some courage to woke up and had a couple of years of cycling session followed by a gym session, and here I am, uh, waiting for another thrilling Toastmaster session of our 130th meeting. Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through its worldwide network of clubs. And Toastmasters was founded in 1924 by a person called Ralph C. Smedley, an insurance salesman who was very keen to improve his public speaking skills. And he gathered a couple of his friends and they started meeting regularly to practice giving speeches and receiving feedback from each other. And in 2023, there are over 364,000 members in over 145 countries. Without any further ado, I would like to call this meeting to order. I was thinking what quote or what theme or a joke or an inspirational thing that I would tell today. And since in a week's time we would be starting a new year, I would want each one of us to have this mindset of a farmer. A farmer is a great leader as he shows practice, patience, and care. If we emulate farmer, we can grow leadership in our organization. The reason being, he does not shout at crops. He does not blame the crop for not going fast enough. He does not uproot the crops before they have had a chance to grow. And he always chooses the best plants for the soil that is out there. He irrigates and fertilizes them regularly. He removes the weeds. And one last thing to remember is you will have good seasons and bad seasons. Out of the 12 months that we go through, there might be months which are very bad. There might be months which are very good. You can't control what happens. You just can control what is in your control. So, like the farmer, he can't control the weather. Whatever the god gives or whatever the rains comes or the sun rises at the same time or sun goes out at the same time, he has to just be prepared for it. So I think we can all take a lesson from being a farmer and inculcate that in our lives. Some of the announcement that I want to make today, as there are no guests out here, is that we're planning to have an international speech contest for our club on 3rd Feb. So before then, I would request all of you to finish at least your L2 speeches so that you can take part in the international speech contest. The installation ceremony for the new XCOM members should happen in the first week of Jan. I will reach out to the area director and see when she is available. 20th Jan is the speech marathon that we have kept. I would request all the members of the club to start preparing for the speeches because we are probably 3 weeks till time is left for everybody to prepare. So please prepare yourself for speech marathon. Last but not the least is the theme for today is a recap of 2023. And I did a recap of 2023 a week ago. And there are three questions that I asked myself. What surprised me the most about personal and professional growth this year? Personal friend, I would say a big decision that I made was to get married. That is something great. Professionally, I would say I did not get any promotion this year, which I'm aiming for next year. But professionally, I would say with Toastmasters, I've gained that little bit of confidence in myself that I can speak to anyone at any point in time. I don't have to think too much about it. That much of confidence I can see in myself is something that I'm really proud of. The second question I asked myself was, what were my biggest obstacles or setback this year? One definitely would be with regard to my ACL injury. All the fitness that I did through for the first 6 to 8 months went for a toss for the next 4 months. But that resilience that I had in me is what made me come back stronger. So fitness also helped me, and ACL injury is not something very easy. And at that point in time, I thought you definitely have to have somebody in your life. If my mother wouldn't be there in the hospital, it would have been very difficult for me to survive with at least for the first 1 week after the surgery. And what are the three key priorities that I want to set myself for the next year is the last question that I asked myself. From Toastmasters front, it was complete the two pathways that I have. I have level 4 and level 5 left in both the pathways. Complete that within the first 3 months itself, not wait for the sixth month. The second would be win the club and the area contest if possible. Give my best shot at it for international speech contest. Last but not the least, whatever lessons I learned from the first 6 months of being the president, try my best and ensure that I enjoy the role for the next 6 months and pass on the baton to somebody within the club. With that being said, let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day. She's a data engineer. She loves to solve problems. But I think this year, what she enjoyed the most that I could see from her post was fitness. I think she has slowly moved into that realm where fitness has become one of her key habits. Where I would say, if she doesn't do something regarding to her health, going to the gym maybe, or something with regards to fitness, I think she doesn't get a proper sleep now. So please welcome DTM Richa, who is our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. And hello, everyone. How are you doing on a Saturday morning? I know Himanshu and Richard have already spoken. So Jaya and Priya, how has your Saturday morning been going?
No major difference, Richa. I had to get my daughter to school ready. Today also she's having school for half a day and
Wow.
then had my breakfast. Yeah, it's the same routine. Wake up at the same time. Maybe tomorrow I will get some extra time to sleep a little more time, hoping.
Okay, nice. So it's good to know that school vacations have not yet started. Anything from you, Toastmaster Priya? Hello.
Hi. Hi, Richa. Good morning, everyone. For me as well, it's going well. It's quite motivating. Every day when I woke up, I motivate myself, okay, today you have to do these many lists, which I always try to prepare at the end of my day. So, yeah, today also I have so many things scheduled, still motivating, energized, and happy to be part of the meeting here. That's
Awesome.
it.
So we have less number of people in the meeting today, but that just means much more energy and much more opportunity for us to take the stage. Let us all utilize this moment. And as the meeting theme goes today, recap whatsoever happened in the year 2023. So we'll go through some major things which have happened and also reflect on some of the things which we might have or could have done better. which again will lay the foundation for the next year for all of us, right? Let's get started with the theme. But before I begin with the theme, let us know who are. We'll have a very short list of role takers for our meeting today. So let us quickly get to know the role takers for the meeting today with our general evaluator, who is a product manager and is passionate about solving problems and making a difference in the world. She is also a puzzle enthusiast and a loving mother, someone whose English or whose language I'm a big fan of. Let us welcome Toastmaster Jaya on the stage.
Thank you so much, Richa. Good morning, everyone. This theme that Richa came with intrigued me. It's back up, rewinding the past year, the current year, which is 2023. When I thought about what I did with respect to Toastmasters in the year 2023, two things stood out. One is completing my level one. That is one thing that I did in a positive way. And the other thing that really satisfied me was acting as a VP membership. I joined 5 members in the past 6 months. That is very satisfying, knowing that you're playing a very small role in the development of others. Uh, with that, let me explain my roles and responsibilities as a general evaluator. As a general evaluator, I will be recording if all the rules are being followed, or is there anything that we can improve of all the speakers. I am someone who believes in the statement that says, when a team is right, evaluation will flight. Unfortunately, we do not have all the role takers today, but thanks for Richard for stepping up and taking the role of a timer. Let me call upon Richard on the stage to explain his role and responsibilities as a timer. Richard, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya. As a timer, my role is to remind all the speakers how much time they spent on their speech so that we will run this meeting on time. Well, for prepared speeches, we do not have any icebreaker speech. That means the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. Just a question to Richa: is this is since there is a second speech of L5, is the speech timing the same, or is it more?
It's a little more. Ethical leadership is a 20 to 40-minute speech. Is it, Priya? The evaluation sheet which you have shared with me. Priya, you there? Fine. I'll confirm with her offline and we'll let you know.
Okay, sure. So first, Himanshu's speech, it is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Once the timing reaches 5 minutes, I will make. I do not know if I can make a sound. Was that? Could you hear that sound? No, no. Oh, okay, fine. Very difficult.
Maybe you could ping in the chat. Or you can use
Okay.
those books.
Is that bricks? Okay, that's no. Okay,
Books.
fine. Okay.
Books and whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can have green, yellow, red. Okay, green is something that I need to figure out, which I'll figure it out. Okay, yellow is something that I have here, yellow, and then red. Green is something that I'll figure it out. Once the timing reaches 5 minutes, it'll be green. Once the timing reaches 6 minutes, it'll be yellow. And once the timing reaches 7 minutes, it'll be red. I'll figure out the green color book. Meanwhile, that is it. And with regards to table topics, we have table topics section as well, since there are very less amount of speakers today, number of speakers. So 1.5 minutes, it is green, 2 minutes, it is yellow, and no, 1 minute it is green, 1.5 minutes it is yellow, and 2 minutes it is red. And for evaluation, it is 2 minutes green, 2.5 minutes it is yellow, and 3 minutes it is red. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Jaya.
Thank you, Richard, for explaining your roles. Now, we do not have an accountant or a grammarian. As a general evaluator, I try to make note of all the good usages of English and the things that can be improved. With that, I'm handing it over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya, and I hope everyone took a note of the role taker or specifically how the timer cards will be displayed today. With that, let us quickly get into our theme today, which is a recap of 2023. Before I start my recap, or what are some of the events which I would like to highlight as recap of 2023, I want to quickly, in maybe one or two words from each of you, if you can share, how do you think 2020 was for you? Just in a word or two about the year, looking back. Himanshu, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Yeah, for me, it was, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, Priya.
Okay. For me, it was adventurous, actually, to be frank. When I started my year, I thought this year I'll take many initiatives, which I really did. But with time, it became hectic, but I was enjoying my journey. So that's why I'm saying it's adventurous. Somewhere hectic, somewhere enjoying the journey.
I know, if you are the president of a club, that happens. Ask Toastmaster Richard. Yes, Himanshu.
I would say very transitional from old to new in terms I've changed my job in the recent past. So there are few things that I've gone through in terms of experience. I cracked almost 7 companies. So I had less difficulty in cracking companies than in evaluating, which is the right company to join. Eventually, I felt that I have landed in a happy place.
Awesome. Awesome. Landing in a happy place is always good. Richard or Jay, either of you like to share a word or two about the year or later? Do you want to go later? Maybe think on it and come back later if you want. Okay, so let me tell you how I think 2023 was. I think when the year started, most of us would have thought, okay, let this be the year when COVID does not rear its ugly head. And we all come out of the shadows of COVID because until last year, if you think, even in the beginning of last year, we had a COVID scare in the early 2022. Since the start of this entire decade, actually, 2020s, COVID has been the game changer for everything, right? But in 2023, I think we all have been able to get rid of that mental scare that, hey, something can happen. Even if it would have happened to all of us, we probably did not pay a lot of attention. Like nowadays, if you see people around, people take it as a common cold or something like that, unless it becomes really serious. One other thing is we got rid of the mask, the travel restrictions, no longer thinking about, hey, have you gotten vaccination, showcasing your vaccine certificates around, and all of that, right? So that's one of the key things which I think was good about 2023, or which we all wished for. And it has held its promise 2023 up until now, when in the last week or so we have been hearing some discussions or some news coming in around COVID again. So now, again, there's something which we can hope for in 2024. Let COVID not steal the next year away from us. So that's one. Howsoever, if I think from India's perspective, the year 2023, India has been really great, considering India has been able to make its stand or its presence felt in the world stage for many reasons, not just for one, for many reasons and a wide variety of reasons, if I were to say so. I'll start with a few, and let's see how many of you can actually pitch in or remember any of the events which happened. Okay, I'll just start with, any of you remember anything around sports events which happened in India, or where did India
I
made them?
World Cup,
Which World Cup?
the Cricket World Cup, 10 straight wins and lost in the
Cricket
final.
World Cup happening in October, November. Yes, while India did lose, but they played really well. The Indian team played really well up until the final, of course. However, the highlight for me would be India hosting the event in such a mega fashion, right? Across the country in several cities, and it was so well planned. So that's one of the biggest highlights for me. Any other World Cup anyone can remember apart from the Indian Men's Cricket World Cup? There were other events which also happened in India.
Hockey World Cup
Oh yes,
in
thank you,
Odisha.
Himanshu. Yes, it happened in Odisha, in Bhubaneswar, and my hometown of Rourkela, for which a hockey stadium was specifically built. The largest hockey stadium in the world by seating capacity was built in Odisha, in Rourkela. Uh, that was again one of the things which happened. There again, India had to face defeat uh, very early on in the tournament. Howsoever, it was a mega event, a very successful event as such for India to host hockey men's hockey team from across the world. Believe it or not, I was at the Bhubaneswar airport when the winning team were returning with the trophy back to their home country, the winners and the runners up team. I was in the Bhubaneswar airport, so yes, and I did meet a few players then. Yes, so that's one of the things. There were other sports events as well, which happened. Of course, the Asia Cup, then the World Women's Boxing Championship happened in India as well. I know many of us don't know, most of us actually don't know. But yeah, these events did happen and India successfully hosted a lot of this. We'll move on to more of these, which will again move away from sports and into some other territory or some other domain. But before that, let's quickly start our prepared speech section, which is going to be uh, with two speakers today. The first being, of course, Toastmaster Himanshu. But to evaluate Toastmaster Himanshu's speech, I welcome his evaluator for today, Toastmaster Richard, to lay down the objectives. He is already introduced by the Sergeant at Arms as President Address, so I'll hand over to Richard.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. The purpose of today's speech is for the member to develop a clear understanding of his ethical framework and create an opportunity for others to hear about and discuss ethics in the members' organizations or oh, this is L5. Okay.
I thought something has
No,
changed in
I
my
got
topic.
okay. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Let me introduce Toastmaster Himanshu, although he has been the Sergeant at Arms already. He is a product manager from Karnal, India, who has worked in the consumer tech industry for over 10 years now. His experience spans e-commerce, IoT, mobile gaming, lot of really few future forward technologies, I would say. And in his spare time, Himanshu enjoys practicing yoga, reading books, and spending time with his family. And of course, he has now become an active member of our Toastmaster club as well. So let us welcome Toastmaster Himanshu, a journey to the deep, a journey to the deep, Toastmaster Himanshu.
Quick check. Am I audible?
You're audible. You're not
Yes.
visible properly. So probably place the camera
Yeah.
and then check once.
Yeah. One second. Hope now it's fine.
We can't see your head,
Okay, one second.
Himanshu.
Now is it okay?
Yes, much better.
Okay. I don't think. I think let me do a little bit more. Okay.
Yes.
So let me start with the question. If you were to go on a vacation and you got some spare time, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to relax in the hotel, chill out, or you would want to add some new activity to your plan? In my case,
Relax.
Relax. Richa, what about you?
Relax for now.
And Jaya?
Same. I'll chill out and spend the time there peacefully.
So let me talk about a trip when I choose something else. I chose a new activity to do when I had gone on a trip to Bali few years ago. I had already done a cycling trip, had been to beaches, walked along the beaches, went to the market to buy stuff. Eventually, I needed something more. I had a spare day, and I quickly searched on the internet. What all things can I do? And I found one which resonated with me. It was to do scuba diving. Immediately, I did all the booking. I found where do I have to go, some level of logistics involved. But the trip was on the next day. As soon as I booked the trip, I went into a dreamy state of imagining how the trip is going to look like. I had a very pleasant set of thoughts in the initial phase, thinking about how I would swim with the fishes. But eventually, some of the thoughts were also scary. I imagined, what if I saw a shark with its glistening teeth ready to eat me alive? What if the water was too cold and I couldn't survive in the water? What if I lost contact with the instructor in between? Will I be able to come to the shore? And all these thoughts scared me a little bit. I was kind of twisting and turning on the bed at night, thinking about these thoughts. Eventually, I fell asleep. And in the morning, when woke up, I had more pleasant thoughts. I was ready to go. I walked down to the store where I had to pick up the equipment, the gear that I needed to accompany with. As I opened the door, I saw on the wall a string of the full body equipment, which was hanging from the hooks, and I had to choose one. As I started testing which one fits me best, I realized that everything is going. It's going to be airtight. That was not the only equipment that I needed to bring in. There was huge goggles which were very tight in nature, a very heavy oxygen cylinder that we needed to carry. I started having other thoughts. Is it worth it? This is too heavy. Still, I gathered the courage, put all these equipment into the vehicle, and eventually we started for the destination. The destination was about 22 kilometers away. When we reached the destination, the instructor unloaded all the stuff and he asked us to wear everything up, be ready. So I had put my fins, I put the gears on, and then he took us to a small pool, very, very small pool, to first practice in that water of breathing inside. I did it for a few minutes, but it was not very comfortable. I couldn't really kind of swim through. Eventually, I got out of the water. Then the next stage was learning about the signals. How do you communicate in the water? You can't really talk, right? So move up, move down, go right, go left, all okay, not okay. And with this basic knowledge, we all walked to the shore. And then we went over some of the volcanic rocks there and then started to go into the water. While I was going into the water, I could see the sun rays which were spreading the warmth over my face. But as soon as I was in, it was a complete feeling of very, very cold water. I had closed my eyes in that period of time. And when I anticipated that when I open, it will be a huge new world that will just open up for me. When I opened, you know what was there? Completely invisible. It was pitch dark, jet black. Before I could have more thoughts, I saw a finger point to me. Let's go forward. And I started to move forward. Then go right, go left, go deep. So went through the swimming, saw some of the fishes passing by, some of the corals which were flowing up, and eventually we came to the place which was actually the highlight of the scuba trip. It was a remnant of the past, a history that we don't know about. In 1942, there was a ship, army cargo ship, which was traveling from Australia to Philippines. And on the way, which was carrying the military equipment, the Japanese torpedo hit it. And as soon as it hit it, it was in not a shape to pursue its journey further. Eventually, still the crew was able to kind of pull it and beach it. But that's not how the ship landed in the place it was right now. After 20 years, there was a hurricane and the ship eventually slided on and went to the deep of the ocean. And that's where I was now 60 years later. As I started to come near that ship, I started get a sense of how the boat would have looked like. And I started circling around that boat, that ship. And eventually I found something that was protruding out of the ship. It was very long and round in nature, but completely covered with corals. And I could understand that it must be a gun, which was used to protect from the intruders. But now see how the life and the nature has taken its course. Nature has covered it with corals. So if you leave the nature untouched, then you can see a lot of beauty that can come out. After this is the experience that stayed with me. After 45 minutes, I asked the instructor to go up. I moved out of the shore, walked over. I was completely drenched. Walked over to a nearby cafeteria, sat on the chair to warm myself down. And in that period, a person came in who was about to go in. He asked me, "Was the experience warm? Was the water warm?" I said, "No, it was really cold." Was Were you able to see? I said, "No." "Then did you enjoy the trip?" I said, "It was awesome." And that's how I remember that trip. I hope that I can go someday along and do another scuba trip, though with better visibility and a warm water. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Himanshu. Scuba diving is indeed a very, 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 I would say, exciting experience. I tried, however, it was not a real scuba diving. In Goa, it doesn't have a good scuba diving as such, but that made me fall in love with water. I wanted to be in water and do many more such dives. So that's again my plan for my future, to try as many scuba diving as possible. But it was a very interesting story. Thank you so much. Let us now move on to the next speaker of our day, who is a guest Airbus, from Airbus Toastmasters Club. So, Toastmaster Priya, let me just share her introduction uh, quickly. Oh, before that, I need to share her evaluation, as I am the evaluator. I'm so sorry about that. So, yeah, Toastmaster Priya will be attempting her level 5 speech. There has been a slight confusion, I guess, in the project. Howsoever, what we will do is, timer, please note, it's going to be a 5 to 7 minutes of speech uh, for level 5 project. And although the project is about panel discussion, but we'll use the speech as the project, right? So the purpose of this project is for the member to develop a clear understanding of ethical framework, of their ethical framework, and create an opportunity for others to hear and discuss about ethics in their organization or community. So that's the topic of this project. As panel discussion is not organized, if Toastmaster Priya wishes, she can go ahead with involving any of the audience in the panel discussion. If not, you're free to just give your 5 to 7 minute speech and move on from there. Okay. With that, uh, let me call upon the speaker for today, Toastmaster Priya, who is a strong believer of karma and believes or uses beat the challenges as a guru mantra. She is currently working as data analyst in Airbus and serving as the president of Airbus Toastmaster Club this term. She is also part of the Area D2 uh, committee in the role of quality growth director, club growth director, I'm guessing. So yeah, and her hobby is speaking and playing badminton. Lots of good things and positive things. With that, looking forward to your speech, Toastmaster Priya. Follow your instincts. Follow your instincts, Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Leadership is about creating two things: inspiration and results. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Priya Dahiya, and today I'm gonna speak on the topic follow your instinct. Before I start my speech, I would like to ask you one question. When you hear this term leadership, what is the one image that comes to your mind? Anyone?
Servant leadership.
Okay.
Image would be
It
like a
could be
servant.
any person. It could be any person whom you feel that who is inspiring, or anything in your surrounding or in environment.
Ratan Tata.
Okay, perfect. Any
I
other?
would say politician Jayalalitha and Indra Nui.
Wow. Okay. Actually, for me, it's my mom. While growing up, I have seen her how religiously she follows her daily routine. She wakes up very early in the morning, probably before chirping of the birds and before first reflection of sun ray. And she never forgets to keep her veil on her head. When it is asked her like to do the exercise, she always says and claims that while doing the household chores, my exercise is done. She wakes up everyone in the morning with a big smile on her face. While cooking food, she always take care of each and every person choice. And you remember the time when there are so many cousins in the house, and she has to distribute the food. So she cautiously distribute the food in equal amount. And if something mischievous is done, being her own child, I used to get the maximum scold. Even carrying so many responsibilities, she takes care to guide each family member. For me, sometimes she is available as a friend with whom I feel comfortable to share everything. Sometimes she is available as a father, where she takes care of my financial needs. Sometimes like a brother, where she tries to protect me from outside world. Ah, so many things I have seen her doing in the whole lifespan. But one thing which I observed in her nature, that she has her own drive. She always follow her instinct. And this is the one biggest learning I had from her. When I joined Toastmaster, to be frank, like almost 1.5 years back, I was not well known with the term leadership. But slowly and gradually, by observing my peer members, Toastmasters, hearing multiple speeches, working on my projects, I started learning that leadership is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent.
I think she's stuck.
The video is stuck.
Sorry. So I started my project, which was strategic leadership, and where I started learning on my leadership style and how effectively I can learn about it. So today, through my project, which is ethical leadership, I want to share my five key learnings. First one was respect. Respect in the sense I have always, I guess you all must have heard this term. Give respect, take respect. How does it work? So for me, when I started as president, the very first thing is that listen everyone and see how effectively we can work out on the suggestions. Don't be impatient to make judgments. Even when things are not going in the right direction, keep the patience and see and try to find out the solutions. Empathy was one of the key factor. Nobody is wrong. Even I am not always right. And what is the midway which can be followed to make things better? The next step which I have inculcated in my behavior was fairness. Being leadership is an opportunity, but it's not a luxury. When you have some responsibility to play, sometimes we have to take hard decisions. And in making those hard decisions, we have to put our relations, our emotions aside and see what can be in the favor of justice. And to see how we can identify the best efforts to be put. This thing I also learned from my mom when she takes care of each and every family member. And when I say, my mom, why you are doing this to me? Like you are scolding me the most. So she is like, you will understand me. And these small things which I picked up from nature, and here through this program I am learning. The next step is serve the society. Even though she is a housewife and her efforts are not visibly seen, but behind the scene we all know how much effort she is putting to bring the family together, and to see that every person's efforts are got successful. And that's where I learned that whatever effort we are putting, if these efforts are put in to serve the society, to serve the community or organization, or if if my decision can be, can benefit even a single person in a life, so it's a success. The next step is honesty. When several decisions are taken, honesty is the term which defines our nature, and which makes people to trust us. And trust is the key factor in terms of leadership. The last one, the philosophy which I follow, let's do it together. Nobody individual can do everything. So whatever outcomes come, it always comes with a teamwork, with with unity, where each member support other. And this vice versa support helps one another to learn, to teach, and to grow. So now I think you can relate to my story which I started initially, that even this leadership, we are not saying it uh, very visibly, but yes, it do exist in each and everybody's life. And that's where I said that leadership is about creating the things where we focuses on inspirations and results. So with that, I would like to hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. I think the four pillars which you highlighted, respect, taking tough decisions, honesty, and teamwork and unity, they all are very important for a leader. And as Toastmaster always says, where leaders are made, the tagline goes, they the four pillars that you highlighted actually align with the four pillars, or the rise that we call the rise, the Toastmasters four pillars of leadership, right? The four values that a leader should stand, where a Toastmaster should stand by: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. So I think all of these actually fall in very much in line with whatever you have said today in your speech. So yeah, thank you for giving that speech in here today. Can we have a big round of applause for both our speakers today? We have witnessed a level 1 and a level 5 speech today in our club. Thank you. With that, let's quickly come back to our topics, or our theme for the day, recap of 2023. While we discussed a few of the sporting events we had, let me quickly highlight some of the other important events which happened in India, or what are the things that India raised the bar high on. The G20 summit, where India hosted the world leaders in September. Of course, how can we all forget the inauguration of the new parliament building, which actually is built incorporating a lot of Indian culture, elements of Indian culture into the design and architecture of the building. The third, or one of the biggest highlights of this year. Anyone else, before I go, anyone wants to highlight?
I would say Bangalore new new terminal.
Bangalore. Howsoever, I was talking about the Chandrayaan 3 mission, not to forget, uh, in July and August, where India made history by becoming the first nation in the world to touch down on Moon's South Pole. So, yes, that's something which the world stood, took notice, and applauded. So, yes, a lot of things going positive in India's way, but a few things which did happen did not really go that well. Or maybe, at least I think, is not few of those things which we would want to highlight in that it was really well. One of the biggest thing is India surpassed China this year to become the world's most populous country, with our population estimated to be over 142.86 crores. 142.86 crore. So, yes, we have surpassed that number, and India's population is estimated to grow for the next decades, after which it will start declining. That's the estimate. Again, there are quite a few disasters which happened. One of those, the man-made one, the triple train collision, which happened and impacted 1,000 plus travelers, triple train accident between Duronto, Coromandel, and a goods train, which happened in Odisha. It was one of the things which something which we could have probably avoided in India. So yeah, two of the things which I think did not go well. If I were to talk about some unwanted things which happened in the world this year. The Russia Ukraine war still continues from last year, and the new war that started between Israel and Palestine. Well, the world is going towards war. It seems a lot of wars happening everywhere around, but let's see how we can keep our peace. Moving on, I would like to talk about a few things or few highlights from our club this year. So I will let you all think and gather all your thoughts or all your memories from whatever you've experienced in the club so far, right after the TTM session. Let's get into the TTM session very, very quickly. We will have a short and sweet one where everyone gets the opportunity to talk. So I have two options for you guys today. As everyone is a member, I'm not explaining the rules. Whether you would want to go with a general topic where I give you some sort of a quote or a saying, or you want something different for the TTM session today.
Different.
Different.
Different. Okay, perfect. So the different is that you have to sell something. I'll give you an object and you have to convince people. You have to think like you're a salesperson and you have to make sure that you sell it to the audience. Are you ready for it? Who's the first volunteer? Himanshu? You'll go? Okay. Just, it's going to be very, very simple. Okay. Uh, do not really think, you don't really have to think about it, but yes, the topic for you, Toastmaster Himanshu, that you have to sell is a dictionary. Go.
How many words do you remember in a day? How many phone numbers do you remember now? With so much knowledge that is already sitting in the online world, are you able to remember and catch everything else? Do you need something more in order to communicate with other people? Are you feeling that you are short of words? You are getting stuck somewhere, like I do at times, and you want something that adds on to your vocabulary. I have a perfect solution for you. And you know the value of of this value of this information, it is transformation in your relationships. It is transformation in your career. If you get the words right, I can tell from my personal experience, you can also crack interviews. So if you get it right, I know you have the pockets to give me a lot of money. And the product that I'm introducing to you is dictionary. It seems like a very common and traditional and orthodox thing, which you will probably put at some corner of your house and rather go through reading of books. But I can tell you one thing: if you actually go through your dictionary, probably 5-10 minutes a day, you will learn more than what you do in the entire day going into 10 meetings. Are you ready to, first of all, let go of your mental block around that you can improve your vocabulary? I know you can. So if you believe me, you take this dictionary, try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you come back to me. I will take it back. But I trust that you will definitely find value. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Himanshu. How many of you are sold on the idea of buying a dictionary now? Oh, two. Splendid job, Toastmaster Himanshu. Next volunteer, please. No?
I'll go.
Okay, Priya. So your topic is, as you said, your mom is not into working out. I want you to sell a gym membership to your mom or to any of our parents. That's your topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Ah, my legs are paining. Oh my god, my back it's gone. Mom, I told you to start the exercise. If you'll not do the exercise, this pain will be there. No, 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 I'll not go. These are the words which I hear very often. But what is the solution? The point is not to focus on problem, but on solutions. It's mere a matter of 30 minutes or 1 hour. You can start when you just wake up early in the morning. Why don't you go to the gym and give your 25 to 30 minutes? And if it seems very lengthy time for you, just go for 10-15 minutes, meet the member, come back. Don't do the exercise. At least start doing this routine at least. Or you can see your friends who are going on regular exercise daily. You can take motivation from them. See auntie who is in our neighborhood, she is doing exercise very regularly. She has lost her weight and also see the activeness in her body. And also she is saying that her sugar, BP problems, diabetic problems, they have reduced significantly. At least she is not seeing the effects of any disease. So mom, you should try. You should at least give it a try and see what benefits it is bringing. And if you don't like it, then you drop it. But at least for my sake, go for 1 or 2 week and give it a try. So yeah, that's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster, of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. I hope that you go and convince your mom today with this very speech again. Next volunteer, please. Jaya, you want to go? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
The topic for you is, since I know your experience with kids, I want you to convince a child to eat an apple when they want to eat a chocolate. You have to stop them from eating an apple, but sell them the idea of eating an apple instead.
Hey kid, see, have you seen a magic apple? I have one in my fridge. Would you like to come and see it and taste it? The kid asks, what will the apple do? If you taste this apple, it will make you to fly. Fly where? Wherever you want to. How can that happen? Is that even possible on this earth? You're right. The questions that you're asking is perfectly making sense. It will not make you fly, but it will make you stay energetic and sharpen your mind. Now you're so smart. If you want to continue being smart and maintain your good health, you must come and taste my apple that I have in my fridge. The magic that it does to your body is it will not take you to a doctor in the near future. The saying that I would always say to you is if you eat an apple a day, it keeps the doctor away. This does exactly that. Let's see what will happen if you eat a chocolate. See, if you are eating a chocolate, it will give you instant happiness and it will make you to want more, but it will destroy your teeth, causing a cavity or a decay. It is doing exactly the opposite of what Apple does to you. It will drag you towards the doctor. Now decide yourself. Do you want to go to a doctor or live here, enjoy your dream? Thank you. Back to you, Richa.
Wow, Toastmaster Jaya is going to tell them to eat an apple because it's a magic apple. That's a good idea, I think. And the magic lies in the fact that it's healthy for you. But yeah, a lot of things, it's still very difficult to convince a kid to eat an apple. However, kids these days are very smart. If you eat chocolate in front of them, they'll tell you your teeth are going to decay. So that's something which I experienced very recently. Okay, Toastmaster Richard, do you want to give an attempt or?
Anything is fine by me, Richa. Anything is fine by me. I think we are already at 11. If you want, we can wind
Okay,
up as well.
fine. Okay, then let us wind up. I will come back to Toastmaster Richard and ask him questions about our club's memories. With that, thank you all for participating in the in the table topic session for today. I hope that you had some food for thought and were convinced or sold on few of the ideas that our members and guests sold you today. So let's quickly move on to the theme where we discuss about some highlights or recaps of our club of speakers squad as such. Anyone who wants to call dibs on it? Anyone wants to start on what went well or what were some things that we achieved or celebrated this year? Apart
I
from
don't remember
Toastmaster
the
Richard.
name of the reward. I don't remember the name of the reward, but I think we got few trophies this year. At least
Yeah.
during the period when I was after I joined.
I think one is
Yes, we did.
Diamond Club Award and Rising Star Award.
Yes. So we did get a few awards. Howsoever, none of you ever checked the DP of our club. It says President's Distinguished Club. So this is the first thing, right? Our club won the President Distinguished Club for the last 2022 to 2023 term, which means that we achieved 9 or 10 DCP points and maintain a membership level of 20 or above members in our club. So it's something which every club wants to achieve, the highest level a club can achieve as being a part of Toastmasters. So that's something we did again, second time around. So well done. Kudos to each one of us. With that, we also had two milestones this year. Anyone wanting to share what were those?
100 plus
Something that I
meetings.
remember.
100th and 125th. Two meeting numbers we completed this very year, the 100 meeting at start and 125th. We also organized quite a few educational sessions in between, so a lot of things going well. We added a lot of new members and renewed our club membership well ahead of time. That's of course thanks to the Toastmaster membership fee of 45 to $60 change, but we still did fantastic job as such. So kudos to all of us on being on point as such, right? Doing a lot of good work. Our club members, howsoever, not club members, let's go. Howsoever, there are quite a few things which we can reflect and improve upon. Anyone wants to start with what they think that we can improve on, or some things which we could have done but did not do as a club?
Richard is
Couple of things
waiting to
before
speak
I
on
say
this.
improve. Before I say improve, I would say two more things. We have our first DTM in the club, which is DTM Richa. So kudos to her. Second thing is also Richa is the winner of evaluation and table topic contest, not only in the club, but in the area as well. She got the first prize. So huge congrats to her as well. What are the things that we can improve upon? Offline meetings, at least once in 3 months is something that we can definitely do, which we planned this year, which we were not successful conducting. Something that we can really improve upon is we start the meeting by 9:50, not at 10. So I want people to, start joining by 9:50 and do their audio video check is something that I have in mind for next year. Other than that, different set of meetings. Having a similar meeting is something that I'm not looking forward to next year. That's why we have the agenda already in place. Uh, Something that we knew we did was Toastmaster of the month, which has been quite good. Every month we have a different winner as well, and I hope this month we have a different winner as well. We have added two more awards for the upcoming 6 months. So let's see what we can do with those. Those are the things that we are looking forward to within our club and participation. Participation from all the other members. I know everybody is busy, but something that we can all look forward to is we know the meeting is on Saturday. We know the meeting is at 10 a.m. So meeting time doesn't change, meeting date doesn't change. So it's just that we have to change ourselves a bit and then show up every week in, week out, or at least 2 to 3 weeks in a month, not all the 4 weeks, I would say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Spoken like a president, hasn't he? Okay. Anyone else wants to add? Toastmaster Jaya, Toastmaster Himanshu. Any thoughts you want to add before I share mine?
Richard just cracked it. He was like
Yeah, he
flowing,
covered it all. He
flowing.
was waiting to go.
Okay. He did miss one thing. Yes, we did not, or we could not have an in person celebration of 125th meeting, which we all wanted to, because it fell during the holiday season, something none of us could do anything about. Howsoever, that did not stop our members from taking active participation in the area level events. We had two area events, one was online, one was the contest offline, and our club members participated in huge numbers in them, being the major role takers in both of the events. So our club as such is leading the area in many, many ways. Kudos to all our club members, although they're not here. Most of them are not present in the meeting, but a big round of applause to all of us, right? And we have already reflected on what are the things we would like to do. I want you all to go back and think on your goals for Toastmaster next year, because only if you have goals would you know, have you progressed enough for the next year, right? You can measure your progress. So that's something that I would like you all to think about. What do you want to achieve in Toastmasters next year? With that, let's quickly move on to how this meeting went, right? Move on to the general evaluation section, and I would like to invite Toastmaster Jaya for leading the evaluation section. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. To start the evaluation, let me welcome uh, evaluator of speaker Himanshu, who is Richard. Richard, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Before I begin the evaluation, speaker one spoke for 7 minutes 25 seconds. Before the okay, I'll also mention the speaker two's timing as well. Priya spoke for 8 minutes 8 seconds. Let me begin my evaluation. I will also start timing myself. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, the journey into the deep. Thank you, Himanshu, for taking us through the wonderful journey of whether we want to take a rest or whether we want to have another activity in place. And you started by asking a question to all of us. You started with a very good way, and any speech should or would start. Kudos to that. And you had a brilliant structure in place. You took us through the journey of your trip to Bali, scuba diving, imagine, and your imagination before you actually started the journey of scuba diving. What were the thoughts that were running in your mind? Shark could come and eat me alive. You could, miss the instructor. Instructor to can go to the south and you can go to the north. And the destination was 22 kilometers away. Beautifully, you narrated the story. You had a very good structure in place. You took us through that memory. And your storytelling skills were amazing. We were also running with you in this journey. The second thing I would like to say is all the three things were very good on point. The question you had, the structure, and the storytelling. And the three things that I want you to improve upon is you asked a question, you could have taken a pause. You also went telling that, I went to do an activity and then you came back. So take a pause. And I know you had vocal variety and body structure in the speech, but I think you overview used your hand gesture. Practice your speech and see where is your hand gesture really required. Throughout your speech, you are moving your hand way too much. Limit it, and only when it is necessary, use your hand gesture, is what I would suggest. And the third thing is memorable conclusion. There are three things you can end the speech. One is you can summarize the key point, which was not necessary here, or call to action, which was not necessary here. But you should end with an impact. What is that one thing that I or the audience is taking away from? And you ended it very abruptly, and I didn't know what was the conclusion here. So look for the conclusion. Whenever you write a speech, look for what should the audience take away from the speech. If you have a great conclusion, nothing like it, because out of 7 minutes, is there something that I can take away from this speech? Is a question that audience should ask, and you should reiterate that ending to the speech. And the challenge that I have for you is vary your, vocal delivery. You had the same tone throughout the speech. Pause where it is required. You ended it with 7 minute 25 seconds. Brilliant end to the speech, but pause when it is required. Use the high pitch or low pitch when it is required. That would be my speech evaluation. What you did well, question, structure, and storytelling. What you could do better is after question, pause, overuse of hand gestures, and end with an impact. And the challenge that I have for you is vary your vocal delivery. See where you can go high pitch and low pitch. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Jaya.
Thank you, Richard, for that beautiful evaluation. Next, let me call upon Toastmaster Richa to evaluate Toastmaster Priya's speech. Richa, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya, and hello, Toastmaster Priya. First of all, congratulations on delivering a level 5 speech. Not every day a person reaches level 5. So, congratulations. And as such, being the president of a club, your speech on leadership really brought out the key aspects that, as I already mentioned, right, the 4 pillars that Toastmaster says a leader should have: rise, and your speech kind of went along the same lines. So it showed that your leadership and your framework of leadership that you had, which is the objective of your project today, ethical leadership, right? The framework that you abide by in your leadership journey goes hand in hand. So kudos to you for ensuring that that you picked up instances from your family, from your people, from the people around you, leadership aspects, and then inculcated them in your own life. So not everyone can do that, but if you are able to, which you have, it's a very good thing. All right. Some aspects which I think went really well in your speech today. One, as I mentioned, the content that you brought in the speech, the points that you brought in the speech is something which really resonated with me. The second thing which I think went really well is you came in, you did not know the audience. Howsoever, you were able to get the audience to respond to you during your speech, right? Got people to listen to you, and you asked them a different question as well in between, and people responded with their thoughts very immediately. So that's something which I really liked about, which went really well in your speech, right? So those were the two things which went well. The third is, I think you came in on a Saturday morning, perhaps not something which you often do, go to a meeting on Saturday morning and give a speech, but you kind of seemed very comfortable, even though it was an audience delivering a speech on leadership to unknown audience, to unknown people. I think you haven't met anyone else apart from me in this club. So that's something which is very difficult, but you did it with ease. So that shows that you have given a lot of speeches and are prepared to do more in your speaking journey, right? When I say do more in your speaking journey, I want you to improve on a few aspects. Since you're a level 5 speaker, or you're in level 5 now, I want you to keep an eye out on these aspects, which I'm going to highlight now. One, on the content part, right? I wanted you to give me a story. When you said follow your instincts, my mother followed her instincts. How? So you probably could have used one story which narrated your mom's instincts, and second, from your leadership journey, where you depicted all of these four highlights of respect, decision making, honesty, and unity, right? Which could have tied and given that message to the audience in a story form. So that would have shared or highlighted how your leadership or how your speaking skills have evolved in the last four levels. The second thing which I want to highlight is the fact that it is said, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, right? Being a leader, one of the most important thing is that we prepare. I think this was coming, but yes, the uh, evaluation form which you shared across was of a panel discussion. So being a level 5 speaker and the president of a club, sorry for being a bit harsh here, howsoever, I expected that you take a note of this, because you are the one who lay down the steps for people in your club to follow, right? So I know it's very difficult as a leader to take time out and get this done, and I sympathize with you. Howsoever, please take a look at your evaluation sheet beforehand, especially if you're going in an external club, because that's important. That reflects how much prepared you are, right? So that's again second thing which I wanted to highlight in your speech today. Uh, Apart from that, I think overall you are someone who can go and give a speech on the spot. That's something which I felt like a lot of things came from your experience rather than from writing down the speech as well today, something which I value a lot. So keep doing, keep coming back, keep giving speeches, and yeah, keep going on your leadership journey. Looking forward to many great things from you. All the best. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. That is a very detailed evaluation done by you. I hope Priya would be focusing on improving her speech by incorporating those. Now, let me move on to the general evaluation of the meeting. Uh, I would be evaluating based on the role and the person. I am starting it from the meeting. The meeting started a little bit late. We started the meeting around 10:05, and we did not have the role takers. There were dropouts at the end. Moving forward, we all have, and the members who are not here should ensure that they are informing us early on if they are not able to take up a role, not at the nth minute. And Sergeant at Arms Himanshu, you did a great job. You stated the rules, and it was all very much audible and clear. I do not have any comments there. Then moving on to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Richard. Toastmaster Richard, he, I think he did his job really well. There is no points of improvements for him. I was very much inspired by the story of a farmer. It truly inspired me because at times we often feel overwhelmed if things are not going in our way. Unlike the farmers, they are calm and quiet and just doing their way. And you made the clear announcement, and you even shared the goals that you have, which is really good. The one good usage or the phrase that I liked in your presiding officer's speech is passing on the bait. Moving on to Toastmaster of the day, Richa. Richa, your smile just lit up the entire screen. I was feeling a little bit low when we do not have the role takers or when we are less number of meeting, but your smile and your enthusiasm in your voice just shooed away that feeling within me. Your role was perfectly done. You asked question, you keep all of us engaged and motivated. Some of the good usages here are not stealing the next year, future forward. I have heard moving forward and have used only moving forward throughout so far. Maybe I can try using future forward, which I really like. And you shared interesting facts too in the happenings that happened in the year 2023. Moving on to our timer, Richard. Richard, thank you so much for taking up the role at the last minute. You clearly stated the rules of the timer. We do not have an counter or a grammarian. Moving on to Himanshu, our speaker one. The good usage of the word for you is transitional. And as Richard mentioned, I really liked your hand gestures when you said that when you showed your teeth like a shark. It was not too much and it was not too less. I really enjoyed it. And you used very easy English that makes easy for all of us to understand it. And you nicely explained it as if we ourselves are experiencing the Cuba diving. Protruding remnant are some of the good usages that I had seen in your speech. Moving on to Priya, our Toastmaster speaker number two. Again, Priya had a smile throughout her speech, and she again used easy English, and she introduced passes at the right time. Uh, for some time, we could not see her. I could only hear her. I'm not sure whether that's only for me or for rest of us. One suggestion I would recommend is to ensuring that your internet connection is strong so that it is not disrupted in the middle. Moving on to our first evaluator, Toastmaster Richard. Richard started with a quote. He suggested the ways of improvements, and he categorized his evaluation into different buckets, like strength, improvement, and what Himanshu can do to challenge himself. I really like that way. And again, Richa, since she is a pro in evaluating, I would like to just highlight the good words there, which is inculcate and laying down the steps, keeping an eye out. These are all the phrases that I liked in your evaluation, Richa. Moving on to Toastmaster Richa again. Richa quickly came up with the topic. She was so spontaneous. I thought we would not be having the Toastmaster table topic master session, but because of Richa, we had it, and it was all very engaging. Richa, thanks for your spontaneity there. I really appreciate that. Coming on to table topic speaker one, Himanshu, I was actually sold. You started with a question. It was very engaging, and it also proved that you're not just a product manager, but a salesperson as well. Although some parts of product manager involves a little bit of sales in their roles and responsibility. I could see it in your speech. Moving on to Toastmaster Priya, you did a wonderful job by taking a role of your mom and you. I actually copied it from you. That is something new that I'm seeing it in Toastmaster for the very first time. Well done there, Priya. That is from my side as a general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Richa.
And we have a big round of applause for all of us because we have done a fantastic job taking multiple roles, donning multiple hats. That also in the nth minute or the last minute. That shows that we have become pros in Toastmaster meetings. Now, all we need to do is make sure that we keep coming back and improve from here. Well done, all of you. Now, before we move on, I know, okay, I see Toastmaster Richard has sent in the voting links. So I think we can all go in and vote. The choices are very limited today, however, shouldn't restrict us from voting. So yeah, while we vote, let me tell you how I think my year 2023 has been. It has been something uh, when the year started, I never thought I could complete a few things. I set ambitious goals for myself. It could be maintaining my discipline at the gym. It could be completing my DTM in Toastmasters and making sure that my project, the work at office, is something which I actually complete, which kind of was dicey considering client was considering cutting short the project duration and all. Howsoever, it gives me immense pleasure to say that I have achieved most of the goals that I'd set myself for the start of the year, something which has never been done or which has been unprecedented for me. Howsoever, there are a few things which I still did not achieve. Maybe I want to learn driving, which is still a to-do list thing in my yearly resolution or goals in the last quite a few years. Hopefully, 2024 will be the year. The other thing which I did not do this year is travel. Since I became a gym addict, I kind of missed out on traveling a lot this year. The only place outside of Bangalore that I traveled to this year was to Bhubaneswar and Puri, the same place twice a year for two different weddings. With two different set of people. One was with Toastmaster friends, one was with my family just last week. Howsoever, it was again a pleasant trip. That's something which I would want to do more in the next year. And of course, maybe set newer goals in Toastmaster and improve on my speaking journey. So that's something that I look forward to for 2024. I hope you all take the time out for the next 1 week and decide what your goals are. Reflect on the year that went by, decide on what your goals are. Everything aside, I want you all to focus on Toastmasters as well. Please set your goals for Toastmasters so that when you start next year, you have the energy and the move or the enthusiasm, the inspiration, the motivation to come back and keep giving your speeches and mark your achievements and level completions in the portal. So, yes, with all that, with all of this, and I wish you all a very happy Christmas, and I'm not sure whether we'll have a meeting next week or not. Howsoever, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2024 to all of you. May you all enjoy the vacation with your family and friends and your own self. With that, over to you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. I have a couple of things to say. Number one, the timer report. I already spoke about the speeches. Table topics. Himanshu took 1 minute 45 seconds. Priya took 1 minute 48 seconds. Jaya took 1 minute 31 seconds. Coming to evaluations, I took 3 minutes 17 seconds. Richa, keeping in mind we have the division contest, you took 4 minutes 30 seconds. So you need to cut down on a lot of timings is something that I would suggest and keep that in mind. Um, Richa was already, if possible, please vote. We are 5 people. I can only see 4 members voting. If you haven't voted, please vote. Other than that, I would like to acknowledge, thank you, Himanshu and Priya, for giving your speeches. Last minute role takers are myself, Richa, and Jaya. Jaya has done a brilliant job by taking a grammarian role, myself, timer role, and Richa as a TTM role. Thank you so much. And last thing that I would say is Richa has been so consistent in the last 6 months. I haven't been so consistent myself where I felt I only missed 2 or 3 meetings, or maybe 2 meetings at the max. But I think only Richa missed 1 meeting in the last 6 months. So she has beaten me to be very consistent, or maybe two. I have definitely missed one more meeting than Richa is what I can definitely vouch for. So last 6 months, I would say Richa has been really, really consistent. I've now never seen somebody being so consistent coming into the meeting every week possible. So huge congrats to Richa as well. She's been so consistent and would like to see her being very consistent in the next 6 months as well. And I will try to beat her in the next 6 months and by attending all the 6 months. But unfortunately, I know I will definitely miss 4 weeks due to my wedding. So let's see. I'll try to compete with Richa as much as possible. Thank you so much. And now the winners. All the 5 members have voted. Best role taker is, without any doubt, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Richa. Best auxiliary role taker is Toastmaster Richard. Best speaker is Toastmaster Himanshu. Best evaluator is Toastmaster Richard. And the best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Himanshu. So, congratulations to each and every one of you. And as Richa has already wished you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, I will try my best to, come next week. If I'm myself, I will try to, level up with Richa if I have to, conduct the meeting by myself.
So,
All
so
jokes
Richa
aside,
has to come. So Richa has to come, and then Richard will definitely come.
Available next week as well for the meeting. So if meeting
yeah.
happens, I'm in.
So thank you all for attending the meeting number 130. We'll see you again hopefully next week in meeting number 131. I declare the session closed. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Priya.
Thank you. Bye bye.